Hey there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is time again for Critique Club. So if you're new here, this is just, honestly, Saturday mornings. We just sit down, we chit chat. That's all it is. We talk about art stuff, craft stuff, life stuff. It's not a tutorial. It's just kind of like, you know what it is? It's kind of like a podcast with the video, but not really. I don't know really how to describe it. It's like something you put on when you're easing into the day, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you put it on and you do something else and you just listen. Whatever. You're welcome to be here. You're welcome to join us if you like. Oh, okay, so I'm filming this. It's actually Thursday at 3:53 in the afternoon. And I'm filming this on Thursday because tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. When I'm filming this, you're watching it Saturday morning. I usually film Sat Chats Friday afternoon, last thing of the week. However, tomorrow's my son's birthday, Monday was my sister's birthday, and so they live down close to the old homestead, and I haven't been down to visit in quite a while, so I figure I'll go down. I've actually texted the boy and I haven't heard back from him, so I'm probably going to have to like text his girlfriend and see what's going on. He is supposed to have the day off tomorrow, so I want to either take him out to lunch or dinner or visit or something of his choosing because it's his birthday, and he's turning 19. 19, man. So I'm gonna go down, celebrate his 19th trip around the sun, and hopefully it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be good. And then just kind of want to do the rounds, see the whole family, as they say, and it'll be good. My sister's birthday was Monday, so I've got a gift for her that I want to drop off and make the rounds, I guess. Hopefully the weather's good. Today's been weird. It's been very cold this week, like wearing the flannel lined LL Bean pants and, you know, couple shirts and jacket and all of that. But this afternoon, the sun came out and I walked outside. I'm like, wow, it actually feels warm. But then again, after you've had 45-degree days, having a 60-degree day automatically feels balmy. I don't know what it is. It's like how fast we adapt to the temperatures. I don't know if the camera is crooked. I feel like the camera is leaning. So the hair, I washed it. I think I washed it once since last week. Remember the hairspray incident? I'm like, okay, I'm not putting that back in my hair. I had to wash it the next day. I couldn't even get a brush through it. And because my hair fades so quickly. And then I'm thinking, I think I've only washed it once since the last Sat Chat. I know, you're probably grossed out. But red hair fades so fast. And I'm thinking I probably should spend more than $4 at the grocery store on my hair coloring needs. But anyway, I like this tone. I don't know if it's going to stay this color or it's going to fade even more. But anyway, I'm not using the crazy hairspray, so my hands won't get stuck in it this week. Oh, what else is new? I have a list. Oh, this was a piece for Inktober. So are you guys doing Inktober? I know a bunch of you are, some of you aren't. And it was funny because I was thinking back, I was actually thinking, man, I feel pretty good this week. I feel pretty relaxed and peaceful. And I did not start October in that frame of mind. I've got to tell you, it was like when I filmed like the first Sat Chat of October, I was like all excited about Inktober. I think it was like maybe it was the last Sat Chat of September, and I was all excited about Inktober. And then like it just hit me. It's like, what am I was excited for it, but on the other hand, I was also I feel like I'm not sitting up straight. I was also feeling very just overwhelmed, and I'm like, why am I taking on this art challenge when I'm feeling so overwhelmed, where I know that it's going to be difficult because I always spend a lot of time on these Inktober prompts, and but whenever I don't do it, I regret it. In the last 2 years, 3 if you count this year, I've completed it. I've done every day and it's been great, but it's always been this a few times during the month where I'm like, why am I doing this? And I saw, well, I've seen so many funny memes about Inktober. One is like, I don't know, one was done by an illustrator, and she was like, and I just came across it on Instagram, and it said like, getting ready for Inktober, and it's like this excited, it looked like it was kind of like a SpongeBob type illustration. Maybe it was like from SpongeBob, I don't know, because I don't watch cartoons, and that was a little bit after my time. But there's like this, it looks like a kid standing at the bottom of the ocean, and there's this huge truck like over her, and it says Inktober on it, and it's like me getting ready for Inktober, like the truck is gonna fall on me. You had to see it. Why am I describing it? It doesn't even make sense when I'm explaining it. But then when I'm explaining it, but then I saw a meme on because everyone's all excited for Inktober, you know, everyone's posting about it. And then I saw one of my friends on Facebook posted, I'm doing this challenge called I can't even say that. so funny. It's not even wrong. I think it's a riot, and I'm sure if you've done Inktober, you're gonna be like, that's so funny. So she posted this meme. It was Tamara from Tamara Laporte from Willowing posted this meme, and it said, I'm doing this challenge called October, where I just try to get through every day in October. And I just like about died. I'm like, oh my word, that is so perfect. But I have managed to do Inktober without much stress or anxiety. No anxiety about that anyway. And actually, I think maybe because I was so kind of just overwhelmed and stressed leading into Inktober, now I'm just calling October Inktober now, that like every day my little illustration has been my little like break from the world, and it's been like I've looked forward to, and it's been kind of like relaxing, like a spa treatment, you know, just like, I can draw for however long I want to. Of course, there has been a few late nights because like I decided to embark on my drawing at like 9:30 at night, and as I've gotten older, I have been like in bed by 10 or I'm useless the next day. So there have been a few late nights. But overall, I'm really happy with what I've done for Inktober. This was for the prompt loop, and I just thought knitting, that would be just so good. And then I like, after I'm done and I go and I look and I'm about to post this, I see somebody else had also done like knitting needles, but it was like on the Kuretake page, but it was totally different. It was black and white. Anyway, I guess I'm not as original as I thought it was, but this was fun because it harkened me back to 2 years ago where I did nothing but hands for all of Inktober. But I'm like, I thought this would be a good one, and so I recorded it and narrated it live. So this is up in Critique Club right now. If you remember a Critique Club, I'm going to turn that down. I don't think it really, that light's really bothering it. There's some other shadow. I don't think the light's harming anything, because I've got it far enough away. But anyway, I'm really happy with how this came out. I did a technique where I did alcohol markers as a base layer on, this is just mixed media paper, the Tone Tan by Strathmore. It's nice and thick. I love this paper. I'm a big fan of the tan. I also have the gray, which I like all right. I didn't get the green and the blue because I don't think I would like them that much, but those are the options, and also white. It's a great paper. It's pretty affordable too. Anyway, I started off with alcohol markers, then watercolor crayons, then real brush pens, and I love this combination. I love it so much. So this is in Critique Club. There'll be a time lapse on my YouTube channel on Sunday, which is tomorrow when you're watching this. I love that technique so much that I did the next prompt, which was sprout, and I was thinking, the first thing that came to mind was like when crocuses sprout out of the ground, like up like right out of the snow in the spring. It's like the first sign of spring. So that's what I think when I think sprout. Like I think of spring sprouting, I think of crocuses. And so I did the same technique with a botanical, with its crocus. There's a live stream for this on my channel. So if you want to check it out, you can. And I hadn't done a live stream in a while, so I did stop a few times for question breaks. So if you're watching the replay and you're not interested in hearing the chatter, most of the chit chat's going to be on those question breaks, so you can fast forward them. And it's really easy to see because you're not seeing the work progress while I'm answering those questions. So I think there were like 4 question breaks I did. The stream was about 2 hours, which I'm surprised it took me that long to do that. But I find when I have to explain myself as I am working, it takes me longer. So it's there if you want it. So you'll be able to learn the technique for free on that live stream on YouTube. Obviously, it's a different subject matter, but I do go in really in depth on that in Critique Club. If you're a member, if you want to be a member, check it out. I'll link it down below. It's $5 a month. You can cancel anytime. You get access to everything once you join. So it's not like you just get what's being uploaded when you're a member. You can go back 3 years ago and you can look at those. You can look at those lessons. You can do those lessons. So when you're a member, you have access to everything. You can upload up to 2 paintings a month if you want feedback from me. You don't have to. Some people just join for the tutorials. And you have access to them. So enjoy if you're a member, and if you're curious about it, you can click the link in the video description and learn more and see if you think it's for you. And some of the projects, there's photos of some of the projects there. 68 projects in total. I add 2 more every month, so the number's always growing. And I post a new prompt every month to help you kind of get those creative juices flowing and hopefully create more art. Because that's what the group is for. It's for inspiring you to create more art. So there, shameless plug. Another shameless plug is I just saw on Craft Stash that the box I designed for the Papercraft Society is finally released. Well, it's released. It's the December box, so it actually like ships at the end of November. But I will link to that if you want to see the reveal. You can see everything being unboxed by the host over there. And I did film an unboxing of the prototype box I got back a few months ago when I did all the samples for the booklet. the booklet looks really good from what I could see on there. I don't have it in my hands yet because I have all the prototype pieces. I don't have like everything all looking all glossy and slick yet. So I'm not sure if they're going to send me one of those. I think they probably will. And I'll probably just refilm the unboxing, but if they can't get it to me in time, then I'll probably just use the unboxing I already filmed. I put everything back okay, you're a little behind the scenes. So, when you're designing something, like a subscription box that's going to come out in the future, a lot of times you're getting early samples, so, and that way if there's any problems, you can find them, and then you can say, wait a minute, this is misspelled, or this isn't cut right, or, you find those problems when you're doing your testing and you're making the samples and stuff. So the dies came to me one day, the pattern papers came to me another day, the stamps came to it, and a little folder came another time. So I got it kind of piecemeal, and then I had to put it together in the way I thought it was packaged. It was going to be packaged finally, so mine might be, when I'm unboxing mine, it might not look exactly like, all the products will be the same, but like the order that it comes out and stuff might be a little different, and I don't have the booklet. But it's exciting. It's supplies that you would just use over and over again. I don't want to say they're standard because I couldn't find anything like them, or I would have bought them and I wouldn't have designed a box, but it has some like watercolor background papers and hand-drawn rubber stamps and postcards. The postcards are neat because we went back and forth and we put a lot of work in finding the paper for the postcards so that you'd be able to use it with the included watercolor sheets, but also you'd be able to use it with any watercolors you had at home. You'd be able to use it with any markers, including alcohol markers. So if you want to color those designs with alcohol markers, the paper actually is compatible. So that was tough. It was tough to find something that was going to work with watercolor and work with markers, but I wanted it to be very versatile, and I wanted people to be able to use whatever they wanted with it, even if they weren't into watercolors. I didn't want them to be like, oh, watercolors, I hate watercolors. You can use it with your alcohol markers. So I figured, that's going to cover a lot of the bases for creating something that you might want to mail. So that's exciting. I will link to that. I'm excited for that. Right now, I don't think they have it available as a standalone box. I think that only comes up after the month is passed that it comes out. I think if there's extra inventory, they put them out as individual boxes, but you can subscribe and cancel anytime for that. I was just looking at the terms and conditions on there, the website. I'll link to that so you can see that. The unboxing is there and everything too, so if you want to see the reveal of the products. But if you want to wait and see if they have single boxes so you don't have to subscribe, I totally understand that. I'll just put that there in case anybody absolutely wants it, just to guarantee that you can get it if you want it. And I have a bunch of projects. I don't know if I can show you the projects yet. I gotta email them. I gotta see if I can reveal, if I can share the projects. I think I probably could. But, well, maybe I'll save that for next week's Sat Chat, so that way I don't get in trouble. What are you doing? Showing all the things that are in the brochure or in the booklet. So that's exciting. I'm really happy about that. It was a lot of work. I'm happy with the way that it came out. And I probably won't do another one because it's so much work. I don't know if I'd have enough ideas for another one, but hey, I crammed all of my good ideas in that box, guys. So, so there you go. There you go. What else? I made some notes because I'm like, I really don't have a lot to talk about, and I'm a day early. Anyway, so I left the house last weekend. Mr. Frugal and I decided that we would go to the bookstore. We honestly, I want to get some Christmas shopping done, and I have not been very successful. I did buy a couple of presents, but this last weekend, I'm having a really hard time thinking of stuff. I don't want to give people clutter. I want to give people good things that they would want to have and want to own. And I think it's difficult. It's difficult when your kids aren't little, as they get older, and it's difficult when pretty much everyone on your Christmas list is an adult, because generally they have what they want or they'll get what they want. It's hard to predict what will be liked. I'm sure you know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But so since I don't have any great ideas, and because of all the shipping delays, and people are saying that things aren't going to be, if you order things, they're probably going to be delayed, and don't count on ordering your presents. I kind of want to wander around and see if things, like, if I look at something and I say, oh, so-and-so will love that, that's kind of what I wanted to do, what I wanted to pick up. And I did find a few things like that, which is good. But anyway, went to the bookstore, BAM, which is Books A Million. It's a chain. And I don't know if it's all over the country or all over the world, but we went in there and I found this and I thought this was worth sharing. And I'm sure other people on YouTube have shared this already, but it's called the Antiquarian Sticker Book. And it was in the bargain. I knew about it because I think Marta over at Maramy Small Art had, I think she had this book and maybe flipped through it or maybe something very similar to it. So it caught my eye and it had a $9.97 sticker and it was the only one. And so I flipped through and I'm like, wow. I mean, there were enough stickers in here I would use for sure on cards that that I grabbed it. Let me see. I don't know if I can flip through it with the camera on the tripod. I'm gonna like, let's see. I'm standing right in front of the light. I don't know if that will look. Gosh, this is hard to do. I'm used to things like a camera being over my head, but just to give you an idea, there's so many fantastic things in there. And so then when I was upstairs in the art section at Books A Million, they had a bunch of these, but they weren't, they were $25. And then they had another one that was like library themed or book themed. And they were $25. So I know I'm not like going to specifically the best pages, but you know, just to give you an idea of the type of like, it's like Victorian clip art and Art Deco clip art. It's all like probably public domain stuff. And there are some pages that are like, it looks just like a pattern, but actually there are little designs you could peel out of this and you could like build another design on. So it's not a flat sheet of sticker. It's actually a bunch of little pieces. So anyway, I thought that was neat. So if you have one of those stores, maybe you'll luck out and find this on the bargain bin. I did check the tags. I'm like, did somebody stick on that by mistake? But it says the antiquarian art on it. So it wasn't like, you know, somebody taking a sticker off one thing and putting it on another one, because I wouldn't have bought it if that was the case. And it also has a little mark on there, like where they put books on the bargain book table. So I got that to do some card making, mostly. I'd say junk journaling, but that's fantasy Lindsay. Reality Lindsay does not do junk journals. Reality Lindsay is lucky if she gets her cards made and sent out on time. Let's be honest here. Fantasy Lindsay knits. Reality Lindsay draws people knitting. That's okay. That's okay. I'm thinking though that I'm going to take up knitting or crochet again because I haven't knit or crocheted in years, and I found it very calming, and just like sitting on the couch with a fireplace going, sipping a glass of wine, watching a movie while knitting or crocheting something is wonderful. And it's like, it's so restorative and so relaxing. It's like, why don't I do it? You know? It's like, why do I spend time scrolling on my phone when I could actually be knitting something that I could wear or that could be useful, or even just that I enjoy? I enjoy more. I'm not getting that like constant like dopamine spiral hit, whatever. You know, I think it's, which wears off, which is like a drug, you know, because it's like, you pick up your phone, you want to go check your, well, in Inktober, I'm picking up my phone a lot because I'm curious about what other people are posting and curious about what people think about what I'm posting, because, and it gives you a dopamine hit, but then eventually you get addicted to that and it wears off, and then you need to have more likes and more responses in order to hit that baseline. You know, I've been watching that, that show. It's so good. Although I probably wouldn't recommend it to anybody that's struggling with a substance abuse problem, or has anyone who is. But I'm watching that show Dope Sick on Hulu. Michael Keaton plays a small town doctor amid the 90s OxyContin crisis. And I'm going to get demonetized. But anyways, that show is really good. And I highly recommend it if you're not sensitive to those topics. It's really well done. The acting is excellent. It's so interesting. It's so interesting, the schemy, slimy tactics that that company used to get that in people's hands, get doctors prescribing that. I mean, I don't know. I assume it's true, but it is dramatized. I'm sure it's a little exaggerated, but the show is really well done. I'm enjoying it. So you might enjoy it too. I find that Hulu does a good job on their shows that they produce. I really liked 9 Perfect Strangers, The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know, they probably made some duds too. I think they all make some duds, but they've done some really good ones. Look at my list here. Oh, and I do have a topic, so I was thinking I'm gonna run out of things to talk about on these Sat Chats. Let's be honest. The pandemic's not gonna last forever, and hopefully. So I'm gonna run out of things to talk about. But then I was thinking, I always have these little like topics I'm thinking about exploring further in podcasts. And one thing that I've been thinking about is a term I heard, and they weren't, and it wasn't in response to art supplies, but I was like, wow, yes, just like art supplies. And the term was the cycle of precious. And maybe that's not what they called it, but that's what I heard, and that's what I've had stuck in my head since I heard it. And I was reading this article, I don't know what the article was on, like what website it was on, but I subscribed to this, there's a minimalist, I don't know if it's, oh shoot, I don't know who puts it out, No Sidebar maybe? Might be the website, but anyways, it's every other weekend they they send an email with like links to like 5 articles about minimalism, and I think it might be Leo Babalta. What is his? He has a YouTube channel. I think it might be his website. I think it's his website that puts it out, and I cannot remember it. But anyway, but that's his name, and you could find him on YouTube and then you could track yourselves back to his website. But anyway, it linked to this article that was on somebody else's website. We're just down a rabbit hole now, guys. And it was talking about the longer it takes you to use something, the less likely you are to use it entirely. So this woman was talking about, she had bought this blouse, and it was really beautiful. She bought it at Target, which I don't know, I guess I don't shop at Target enough, because a special beautiful blouse, I'm not picturing coming from Target, but I don't know, I haven't been to Target for years, so maybe they have beautiful blouses. They must, because this woman bought one. No shade to Target. And she bought this blouse, and she, for whatever reason, didn't wear it that day. And then she had a date, either that night or the next night or something. She had a date, and she thought about wearing that beautiful blouse, but she was like, I don't think this date is special enough to wear this new top that I bought. And she had the blouse for years and never wore it because nothing seemed special enough. The longer she held on to it, the more special it seemed, and the less likely she was to wear it, until finally she just donated it, because she never wore it. She was like, I don't wear this, I'm going to donate it. And so that got me thinking about scrapbook paper that I bought. I remember I went to this little scrapbook store in Augusta. I bought this paper made by Rusty Pickle. This is how precious this paper is. I remember who made it. And it was like, it looked like fruit crates all stacked up, and it was like, had this like vintage font. It was very similar to like the font on this, had this kind of look to it. I bought one sheet of it. It was kind of expensive for a sheet of paper at the time. This was probably like, my son was a baby, so it was like, you know, at least 18 years ago. And I held on to that paper, and I'm like, well, maybe I will use it for a scrapbook. No, it's too special to hide away in a book. I think I have to decoupage something with it. Well, I want to decoupage one thing. I think I need to cut out all the little fruit crates and decoupage them into an assortment of boxes that I will use. And I just like thought of so many different ways I could use that paper. I'm sure I thought about all these different ways I could use the paper in the store. That's why I bought it. But no project ever was special enough to use that paper. And then I started posting online and doing videos and all that stuff. It's like, well, this paper's discontinued. If I use this paper now, it's so special, nobody's gonna be able to find it, and they're gonna feel bad that they can't find that paper, so I better not use it. And that paper it's either still sitting in a folder, because I did go through all my pattern paper when I did KonMari, and I got rid of a ton of it. I got rid of like probably 6 feet of paper, I'm not kidding, standing up. Most of it was in stacks, like value pack stacks and stuff, so it's not like they were all precious pieces of paper, but I'm sure that one is still sitting over there waiting for the perfect project. But studies were done, and the longer you wait to use something, the more likely it is you will never use it, because nothing will ever be special enough. And they called it the cycle of preciousness. Or maybe they called it the cycle of special, but I think of precious, because it becomes too precious so you can't use it. Now think of how many supplies you have in your art room, in your stash, that you don't use because they're too precious. Like the pencils you're saving for best because they're light fast, and you don't want to waste them in your sketchbook, and you don't want to waste them on anything else. But then you go so long without ever using them that you never get used to using them, so they just sit on the shelf and nothing ever becomes good enough. That paper, 100% cotton paper, maybe it's 300-pound paper. That's why I don't buy 300-pound paper, because it would just be too precious and I would never use it. So I started thinking about, it's like, yes, so many things are like that cycle of precious. It's like I'm using, even me, it's like I use a lot of budget stuff, because it's like, well, you know, I get it and I use it like right away. A lot of times it's sent in for review, so I'm going to get it and use it anyway. But the stuff that I like bought, that I really like using, that are really high quality, a lot of times it's like, well, that's kind of special, I should probably save that and use this other stuff up first. So I think that's going to be a podcast topic. I gotta organize my thoughts a little bit more. But let me know in the comments below, have you ever been stuck in the cycle of precious. Have you ever bought something and then it's like, well, I need to wait. I don't want to use that up yet because it's a little precious. Honestly, when I got the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide pads and started using them, I immediately bought reinkers because I don't want them to be precious. I didn't want them to be precious because I liked using them like paint, like really covering backgrounds with them and stuff. And I bought reinkers, and I said, no, I'm not buying them all. I'm not buying all the pads because I do not need to have a full set. These are utilitarian. I am using them. Sometimes I think we get a full set of something and then we're afraid to use up anything. Which it's kind of ridiculous if we do this with the higher end supplies, because like if I use up a polychromos pencil, I can buy a single polychromos in the color I want. Same thing with any of the legacy art brands. You can buy all those things up in stock. If you want to worry about using up something, it probably would be the budget things you'd worry about using up, because then you'd have to buy a whole new set if you want to replace one thing you used up, if you wanted it to be that exact same like specific maker. So cycle of precious, think about that when you're in your art room and just use your stuff, because what are you saving it for? Do you know how long it takes to use up a colored pencil? Do you know how long it takes to use up a watercolor crayon? This set of watercolor crayons I've had for like 25 years, and even the ones I've used a lot are barely, I've had to only replace a couple, guys. They still look embarrassingly new for how long I've had these. I think I'm gonna keep them right in here and use them more, because every time I use these, I'm like, why don't I use these more? These are so fantastic. They're so awesome. I need to use them more. So anyway, that's that. I still have not seen the class posted on Michael's for this. Maybe by the time the stat chat goes up on Saturday, they'll be up, but that's coming up on November 16th, I believe, like 1 in the afternoon, somewhere around there. I'll know when they post it. But I thought these were super cute. And hopefully they'll be up. That's another email I need to send. I need to send an email to Derwent and ask them, and Michael's, and ask them when that's going to be posted. And maybe they forgot to post it. I don't know. Maybe they forgot all the stuff's in. And I got to send an email about the subscription box to see if I can share the projects yet. So that we'll have all that. We should have all that information next week, I would think. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Hey. Wow, we did good. We haven't seen each other in a week, and not much happened, and we still managed to talk for 27 minutes, 28. The gift of gab. I hope you're having a good week. I hope you're enjoying the fall, being relaxed, unstressed, making time for art, making time for you, because you are worth it and you deserve to use those supplies that are sitting on your shelves. You are more precious than those supplies that are sitting on your shelf, and you deserve to use them. So use them. No guilt. Have fun. Make a mess. Make some good art. Enjoy the process. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.